Hello everyone and welcome to the world of Mark 1 Focuses, and as you can see right behind me we have a car that is very familiar to everyone on this channel who has watched the episodes on Dave's Ford Focus Silver, an increasingly rare Mark 1 in the Mark 1 community. There are around about 182 of these currently left on the roads according to my little data sheets that people tend to watch, all those videos. It is a dilapidating special edition, which most will just see as, well, it's not a silver. If it didn't have that silver badge on the back, they would just think it's an ordinary Focus in machine silver with some leather seats. You wouldn't think anything of it. But there are a few more details to that than much. But those of you who've watched these videos, you will know how much Dave is going about working on his car. And I've made the trip up here to actually see the car in person on a rather sociable day, but I thought I'd give you this little update. By the way guys, I am filming using my phone. Unfortunately I've left my SIM card at home for my GoPro, so film quality sound won't be as good, but we'll go back to basics like I started. Anyway, I'll show you around the car very quickly. So this is the famous car in person in this lovely workshop, and Dave has just added some special edition badges. There's one on the dashboard actually. Dave is one for stickers in a few different places, and as I can show you, look at this Ford sticker right in the middle of the subframe there. Once again my camera refuses to focus. Look at this, absolutely amazing. It's just utterly amazing, this thing. It's immaculate. Dave is having a bit of a problem with his filler pipes, so he's got to a stage where these are aftermarket ones to replace the originals, and he can't quite squeeze them in. And I'm going to actually demonstrate this on camera right now. To actually get these in, you can do it in situ, but unfortunately the aftermarket ones are a very different thing. There is a slightly different length to them, as always aftermarket, but basically you just pop them through there, and effectively you're supposed to just twist this in. I tried it myself, but if I just put that there, look how far out it comes. You should be able to get that past the arch lift. By scraping it, you will scrape the arch lip. So in this case, Dave has got to release this from, it's got to actually take the subframe out, which is the best way of doing it. Unfortunately, you do end up scratching the paint on it. That is generally what happens to them. But anyway, look at everything else. We've got some bearings to go on, and calipers sitting on the floor. This has been done really nice. Even these pieces of metal here are nice and thick just up here. Go back down here. It's all very familiar. It's been welded in this bottom corner here and welded across here. Dave, he's having to do some temporary fiberglass to this arch because the bodywork will be left to last, as I would recommend you sort the mechanics out and the underpinnings, the suspension, and you work your way up from the ground. So the arches will be done really nice. As I say, someone's really banged this whole quarter panel, so that's going to take some straightening out, but it will be done. It will be done, and it's all possible. There's some nice Focus badges here. Dave has had some particular problems with the wiring loom. The plugs that go from the boot loom into the car, so the struts go far up here. The boot loom, the connector is just under here, and the connections are very different for two different sets of cars. I believe there might have been a change of manufacturer because the plugs were very different. The wires were the same, but the plugs were different. We have had a couple of instances. The washer pipe has broken off, which is stupid because these washer pipes, I'll just show you in here. There you go. There's the bugger just sitting there. Broken. Yeah, that is the head. This is much better than mine. At least it's not. It's getting a bit crunchy, as they all do at the end, but it's much better condition than mine. But that is a very common problem with the washers. They're made of plastic. They go brittle, and they break. My advice is to take the headlining off, and I'll do this on my own car, and replace that plastic washer line with rubber. simple as far back down as you can go. That's my advice. And he has actually done some crimping because the wires break, and this is quite normal in Mark 1s to have this. I'll probably end up encountering it on my own car. Many of you will have to encounter that. But it's all repairable, but it just depends on time and how willing you are to do it. We've got a very, very solid underside here. However, we have a bit of a hole here. This is typical. So this part has been welded, but it's crept in along this seam sealer, and it will, as I've demonstrated, it will just keep creeping. So I reckon that just needs, I've looked at this and that's quite solid. So it just needs a plate cutting round here. Easy enough. It looks really tidy in here. It's got a timing belt kit. Very easy to do, sort out. That's really easy. I think this side is much more solid. It might be showing signs of a bit of bubbiness here, which I'd probably want to cut out, but it's all solid in the right places. Just a few patches that need to be done. This side is really good as well. There's been a little loss of metal here. I can feel probably the outer piece of metal that started to rust, but the inner side is there because this is two bits of metal pinched together. It can be tricky to repair, but it's actually very solid. The carpets are nice, really nice and clean, and it tucks in behind these nice pieces here. I think there was a bit of loss of metal up there, but it's really minor. This is so nice with these new little clips up here. Lovely. Yes, it makes me very, yeah, I need to get on top of my own Focus and get it cleaned up again. But this is another level, this is a level that I've only seen RS Focuses kind of achieve. It is really, it's looking amazing. It really is. This rear bumper is cracked, by the way, but we'll get another one fitted. Yeah, it's just gone weak. But I'll just come round to the back. It is really, really dusty. I'll just get you in. And we have the silver interior. Now, excuse my camera, I'm just going to let it focus. There we go. No pun intended. Special edition on the dashboard. The silver came with a slightly darker center console radio surround. So it's not silver, it's a grey. That's the exact console I've got in my Mark 1. And I shouldn't have it. I should have the silver one, but getting one is quite difficult unless it's unless it's immaculate. I won't have it. So I've kept the one in my car. Got Focus by the steering wheel, airbags off. Actually, the steering wheel, there's two steering wheels. What's going on here? These leather seats are in really good condition, and I do like the leather seats. They just look good. They might feel nice and look good. They're not the most comfortable. We've got a couple of radios down there with these aftermarket carpets, but it smells like any other Mark 1, and these door cards are in really good condition. Getting door cards for 3-door is really, really difficult. And well, this is the front of the car, and Dave has been busy with earth points. He has even snapped the middle one. That middle one is awful. That's the second one in, always snaps. I warn you, every Mark 1 owner, including Dave and myself, will have had this problem, or will have. Everything's been sprayed up really nicely and refurbed. There's very little that hasn't been done on this engine. Obviously, we've got air conditioning at the front, so the power steering is on the back side. He's got to fill and flush the power steering with green stuff coming up. He has fitted a bigger coolant bottle. Yeah, we know it's not the right one. It's for a Z-Tech, but it doesn't matter. Just more coolant capacity. It doesn't interfere with the engine mount down there. But everything has been really nicely cleaned up, and it has the 2-litre air deflector at the front, a very subtle modification, and with the silver grille, which you get this chrome mesh. I really like this. There was many a days where ebonies, silvers, blacks, I think there was a couple of others as well, the ink, that had this chrome mesh grille, and people just bought them to put on their own Mark 1s and paint them the same body colour, this trim. And it was a popular mod. I looked into it for myself, and I never quite got around to doing it, but the thought was in my head. This non-return valve, by the way, some people have asked me what it's for. It's not a regulating valve, it's a non-return valve. Basically, they deleted this option around about this time. This would have been one of the last cars to get this kind of non-return valve. It's fitted to the feed line to the fuel rail, and its job is to prevent fuel returning to the tank when you turn the engine off. So in my car, because my car isn't fitted with one, if I leave the car for even a day, it will take a bit longer to start than it would on this car, because that basically stops fuel returning backwards. It keeps the pressure in the rail almost at not high pressure, but a low pressure. So the car is ready to start, and it'll be very, very quick to start. So just to assert yourself, just to make that clear. But yeah, this is looking amazing. We're all dry fluids, there's no fluids. The only thing is, I'm fitting this lovely new gearbox. Well, I say refurbed gearbox. It looks so clean down there. Really jealous of how that looks. There is an oil leak that we might think is coming from the crank oil seal, which is really bad luck. So it's got to come off again. That's frustrating, but it's always the way with these things. I'm just going to show you underneath. Oh, by the way, we've got ST170 and front fogs, but that's going to be swapped for the proper ones that you'd have got on a Silver, namely the ones you'd find on a Z-Tech. I've never seen a Mark 1 look that clean underneath. I think apart from my own, no, that's really nice. And obviously it wears these 5-spoke alloy wheels. These alloy wheels, by the way, were an accessory from the get-go. So in 1998, you could buy these wheels. It was in their accessory brochures, but nobody really bought them. So Ford thought, okay, we'll get rid of the excess stock and put them on some limited editions. They put it on the black, the silver, Chick, Ellie, Ink. They've all got it. They've all got them. Z-Tech Collections as one. I was never a fan of them because whenever I see them, they're just battered, scarred, peeling lacquer, and look generally dirty with brake dust. When you see some good ones, you start realising, actually, they look really nice, and these really do suit this car. So there you go. That is a lovely engine bay, and I'm just going to pass you over the back here. Really dusty. These were purchased, I'm not joking, if you've seen the condition of these were purchased on eBay, I think it was eBay, 4 of them for £120, and they're all in this condition, and they all come with Pirelli Cinturato P1s. Dave, you stole these. Honestly, what an amazing find. So he's got no worries about tyres and everything going forward. The sort of stuff people just chuck out is ridiculous. We have a few bits and pieces that he's just doing up. We've got some trim, some hoses, mounts, new brackets. These brackets came with the new filler pipe. But as I say, he's got to drop the subframe to get that in. New nuts and caps and whatnot. He's got a lovely little system of spares, this is exactly what I need, to be honest, but in a more open way. I've got so many of these bolts, it's ridiculous. So anyway, this is a lovely car, and I'm pleased to actually show you what has been done to this car since the last episode. So the subframe has gone back on, rear suspension is on, and he's working his way through the car. The interior will be one of the last things, and so there'll be a lot of things I can help Dave out with in the future. And there's a number of things that we'll come across, but hey ho, this is looking much better. It's a lovely environment to work in. I wish I could have this sort of environment. It's a little corner of a unit, his boss's unit, and he's allowed to put his car here and work on it at his leisure, and he does it out of hours whenever he gets a chance. Just half an hour a day, and then pop home to the family. That's tough, that is. Having a project car, work and family, that is very, very tough. And he's doing, I think you would agree, probably a better job than anybody that I've seen so far with a Mark 1 Focus. Anyway, I'll leave you guys here. You take care. And from me, the Silver from Dave's little palace here. Take care.